Welcome to Hospitality Unlocked, the podcast where we explore the art of creating exceptional experiences. Whether you're managing short-term rentals, running a service-based business, or just passionate about hospitality, we're here to inspire and equip you with tips, stories, and strategies to elevate your game. I'm your host, Julia, and as always, I'm joined by Anna, our AI voice and co-host.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited about today's episode. It's all about designing spaces that guests love. Whether you're styling an Airbnb, a vacation rental, or even a boutique space, we're diving into the why and how of great interior design.
Yes, Anna. We'll cover what makes a space not just look good, but feel good. And we'll throw in some actionable tips, design trends, and maybe challenge a few common design ideas along the way.
Let's unlock the secrets to creating unforgettable spaces.
Let's kick off by asking a fundamental question. Why does design matter in hospitality? Anna, how would you frame the connection between design and guest experience?
Design is more than just aesthetics. It's about shaping how people feel when they enter a space. Think of it as setting the stage for emotions, whether it's relaxation, excitement, or comfort.
Right. It's fascinating how a well-designed room can make someone feel instantly at ease, while a poorly designed one, too dark, cluttered, or awkward, can leave them unsettled, even if they can't articulate why.
Exactly. This ties into a psychological concept called environmental psychology, which studies how the spaces we inhabit affect our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. For example, warm lighting and cozy textures can make a space feel welcoming, while harsh lighting and cold materials might make it feel impersonal.
That's such a great point. There's also the idea of emotional memory. A guest might forget the specifics of your decor over time, but they'll remember how your space made them feel.
Absolutely. And as a host, you're competing in a world where guests are bombarded with options. Their decision to return or leave a glowing review can hinge on the emotional resonance of their experience.
So it's about creating emotional anchors. But here's the challenge. How do you balance universal principles, like comfort, with personal preferences, which vary so much from guest to guest?
Great question. That's where understanding guest personas comes in. If you know who your typical guest is, families, solo travelers, business professionals, you can design spaces that cater to their general preferences.
True. A family probably values things like safe layouts and storage, while business travelers might prioritize a functional workspace and minimal distractions. But what about outliers? Those guests who don't fit the mold?
That's why flexibility in design is key. For example, a fold-down desk or modular seating can adapt to different needs without overcomplicating the space.
Let's break down some specific design elements and how they influence psychology. Let's start with color. It's such a powerful tool.
Absolutely. Colors directly influence mood and perception. For instance, blues and greens are calming, making them ideal for bedrooms or relaxation spaces. On the other hand, yellows and oranges are energizing and can work well in kitchens or communal areas.
And let's not forget neutrals. They're safe, but they can also feel bland if overdone. How do you strike the right balance?
The key is to layer neutrals with textures or pops of color. For example, a beige couch can feel warm and inviting if paired with a patterned throw or colorful cushions.
And lighting plays a huge role here too. Natural light in particular is a game changer. Spaces with large windows or bright airy vibes are often rated higher by guests.
Yes, and if natural light is limited, the right artificial lighting can mimic it. Use warm white bulbs for living spaces and bedrooms, and brighter, cooler lighting for task-oriented areas like kitchens.
It's amazing how much lighting can influence mood. Have you noticed how dim lighting can make a space feel intimate, while overly bright spaces can feel clinical?
Exactly. That's why layering light, overhead, task, and ambient lighting is so effective. Guests can adjust the mood to suit their activities, whether they're working, relaxing, or socializing.
Another important element is layout, the flow of a space. I've stayed in rentals where the furniture felt like it was in the way rather than working for the space.
That's a common issue. A poorly planned layout disrupts flow and creates friction points. For example, a couch blocking the path to the kitchen makes the space feel cramped, even if it's spacious.
So how do you fix that?
Start by identifying the natural traffic patterns, the paths guests will take most often, like moving from the entryway to the kitchen. Keep those areas clear and ensure furniture enhances the flow instead of hindering it.
It's like designing with empathy. You're imagining how someone will move through the space and ensuring it feels intuitive.
Exactly. And don't forget scale. Large furniture can overwhelm a small room, while tiny furniture in a big space feels awkward. Proportion is everything.
What about multifunctional layouts? With so many STRs doubling as workspaces now, how do you design for dual purposes without making the space feel cluttered?
That's where modular furniture shines. Think fold-out desks, storage ottomans, or beds with built-in drawers. These pieces maximize functionality while keeping the space tidy.
Let's talk about personalization. How much is too much?
It's a delicate balance. Personal touches, like a curated bookshelf or local artwork, can make a space feel unique and memorable. But over-personalization, like family photos or overly specific decor, can alienate guests.
That's so true. Guests want a space that feels special but still neutral enough to project their own experience onto it.
Exactly. And subtle cues, like leaving a welcome note or highlighting local attractions in a thoughtful way, can go a long way in making guests feel connected without overwhelming them.
It's like walking the line between feeling like a host and not intruding on their experience.
Precisely. Hospitality is about creating a canvas for memories, not dictating what those memories should be.
Here's something to challenge Anna. Is it possible to overthink design? Can striving for perfection hurt more than it helps?
Great question. Yes, overthinking can lead to a design that feels forced or inauthentic. Sometimes the simplest solutions, like a cozy seating arrangement or a thoughtfully chosen color palette, can have the biggest impact.
I like that. Design doesn't have to be complicated to be effective. Maybe the best spaces aren't the ones that wow you with complexity, but the ones that just work.
Exactly. The goal isn't to create a showroom, it's to create a space where guests can relax, connect, and feel inspired.
Couldn't agree more. It's about balancing intentionality with simplicity, and remembering that, at the end of the day, hospitality is about people, not just spaces. Now that we've covered the psychology, let's talk about trends. What's hot in interior design for short-term rentals right now?
One big trend is biophilic design, bringing the outdoors in. Think natural materials, indoor plants, and earthy color palettes. Guests love spaces that feel connected to nature.
I've seen that too. It's not just about aesthetics. Research shows that natural elements can reduce stress and increase well-being. And bonus, plants are a low-cost way to elevate a space.
Another trend is multifunctional furniture. With so many people working remotely, guests want spaces that adapt. For example, a coffee table that doubles as a workspace or a sofa bed for extra sleeping options.
I love that. Flexibility is crucial, especially in smaller spaces. What else is trending?
Bold accents are making a comeback. Think statement walls, colorful throw pillows, or unique artwork. Guests appreciate spaces that feel unique, not cookie cutter.
That's interesting, because minimalism has been big for a while. Are bold accents replacing minimalism, or do they complement it?
It's more of a balance. Minimalism creates a clean, uncluttered base, while bold accents add personality. It's about finding that sweet spot between simplicity and warmth.
Totally. Here's a thought. What about the Instagram factor? Are we designing for the guest or for the photo?
Great question. Instagram-worthy design can attract bookings, but it shouldn't sacrifice comfort or functionality. A space that looks good but isn't livable won't earn repeat guests.
Exactly. The best designs are both photogenic and practical. All right, Anna, let's get practical. What are some actionable steps listeners can take to design spaces guests will love?
First, start with a theme or concept. Whether it's coastal chic or urban minimalist, having a clear vision ensures consistency throughout the space.
Yes, and don't overthink it. Sometimes a simple theme like modern farmhouse or bohemian retreat can guide your choices and make shopping easier.
Next, invest in quality basics. Guests notice the essentials, like comfortable mattresses, high thread count sheets, and durable furniture.
I can't stress this enough. A beautifully designed space won't matter if the bed feels like a rock or the dining chairs are wobbly. Prioritize comfort and functionality.
Another tip, Layer your lighting. Use a mix of overhead lights, table lamps, and even candles to create a warm, inviting atmosphere.
I love that. Lighting sets the mood, and don't forget dimmers. They let guests adjust the ambiance to their liking.
Also, focus on storage solutions. Guests appreciate thoughtful touches like luggage racks, closet space, or baskets for their belongings.
Yes, especially for longer stays. A well organized space shows you've thought about their needs.
Lastly, don't underestimate local touches. Include decor or amenities that reflect the area, like a map of local trails or artwork from local artists.
It's such a great way to connect guests to the destination, and it creates a sense of authenticity that's hard to replicate. We've talked a lot about what makes design work, but let's flip the script. What about the mistakes? Anna, I know design mishaps can make or break a guest's experience. What are some common pitfalls that hosts fall into?
One of the most common mistakes is prioritizing aesthetics over functionality. For example, opting for that trendy velvet sofa that looks great in photos but is uncomfortable or hard to clean.
Oh, I've seen that. It's like a space screams Instagram moment, but the minute you sit down, you regret it. Do you think hosts are too focused on visual appeal?
Yes, sometimes. While visuals are crucial for marketing, you have to consider how the space functions for the guest. If a kitchen looks sleek but lacks essential cookware, or if the lighting is dim and impractical for reading or working, it creates frustration.
That's so true. Let's talk about another one: cluttered decor. I've been in rentals where there's just too much going on, too many knickknacks, mismatched furniture, or overdone themes.
Over-decorating can overwhelm guests. They may feel like they can't relax because the space feels busy or chaotic. A minimalist approach, where every piece serves a purpose, tends to create a more welcoming environment.
And it's not just visual clutter, right? I've stayed in places with way too many unnecessary instructions, like 15 notes saying, don't touch this, or be careful with that.
Absolutely. That creates what I'd call behavioral clutter. It makes guests feel like they're walking on eggshells instead of enjoying the space. Clear, concise instructions are important, but keep it simple and focus on what truly matters.
Here's one I'd like to challenge: neutral color schemes. So many hosts stick to all white or beige because it's safe. What's your take on that?
Neutral tones can feel clean and versatile, but they risk becoming bland or forgettable. A pop of color through a feature wall, throw pillows, or artwork can make a space feel more vibrant and memorable.
I agree. Guests want to feel like they're somewhere special, not just in another cookie cutter rental. But how do you strike the right balance?
Think of neutrals as a base, then layer in personality with accents that are easy to change, like rugs, cushions, or even a piece of statement furniture. This way, your space has character but isn't overwhelming.
Good advice. Let's challenge another one: overly themed spaces. I've seen rentals that lean too heavily into one idea, like a beach house that feels like you're trapped in a seashell store.
Overtheming can feel kitschy or forced. It's better to use subtle nods to a theme rather than turning the entire space into a caricature. For example, in a beach rental, you could incorporate soft blues, sandy tones, and natural textures instead of plastering seashells everywhere.
Exactly. It's about creating a feeling rather than a museum exhibit. Here's another one: cheap furniture and materials. What do you think about cutting costs on furniture?
It's a short-term gain with long-term consequences. Low-quality furniture may save you money initially, but it can wear out quickly and leave guests with a negative impression. Instead, invest in durable, mid-range pieces that offer both style and longevity.
And let's not forget safety. Wobbly chairs or poorly mounted shelves can actually put guests at risk.
Exactly. Safety should never be compromised. Quality over quantity is the way to go.
Here's an interesting debate. Should every rental have its own unique personality, or should you aim for a standardized experience?
Both approaches have their merits. A unique space can stand out and attract guests looking for something special. But a standardized approach ensures consistency, which is key if you're managing multiple properties.
Can you do both?
Absolutely. Standardize the essentials, comfortable beds, high-quality linens, and basic kitchenware, while personalizing the decorative elements to reflect the location or vibe of the property.
That's smart. It's like the bones of the property are consistent, but the skin changes. What's a good example of personalization done right?
For a mountain cabin, you could add a cozy faux fur throw, framed local photography, and a small library of books about hiking or wildlife. These touches feel thoughtful without veering into cliché.
I love that. Thoughtful design really does make guests feel cared for.
All right, let's break this down into actionable steps. What's your advice for avoiding these common design pitfalls?
Here are 5 steps. Functionality first. Test every piece of furniture and appliance. Ask yourself, is this practical for guests? Declutter. Go for a clean, minimalist look. Only include decor that enhances the space. Color with care. Use neutral tones as a base and layer in personality with accents. Quality over quantity. Invest in key pieces like a good mattress, sturdy furniture, and high-quality linens. Safety check. Regularly inspect your property for potential hazards like loose fixtures or slippery rugs.
Those are great tips. I'd add, ask for feedback. If you're not sure about a design choice, ask past guests or even friends and family for their opinion. Think long-term. Consider the wear and tear of every item you buy. Choose materials that are easy to clean and maintain. Stay guest-focused. Every design choice should enhance the guest experience, not just look good in a photo.
Exactly. When you design with your guests in mind, you're more likely to create a space they'll love and recommend.
That's what it's all about. A well-designed space isn't just beautiful. It's welcoming, practical, and unforgettable.
This has been such a fun episode, Anna. Let's wrap up with some quick takeaways.
Absolutely. Here are your actionable steps. Start with a clear theme to guide your design. Invest in quality essentials, especially the bed and seating. Use layered lighting to create ambiance. Incorporate local touches to enhance authenticity. Avoid over-designing or prioritizing style over durability.
And remember, great design is about making your guests feel at home, or better yet, like they're on the vacation of their dreams.
Exactly. Design with intention and the bookings will follow.
Thanks for listening to Hospitality Unlocked. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with anyone looking to elevate their hospitality game.
See you next time.